Coming up on this edition of Catawba Communities, take a tour of the newly renovated Conover station and see what's coming down the line. Danny Hearn talks about shopping local for the holidays and all year long. Have a look inside Catawba Valley Behavioral Health Care. Dr. Garrett Henshaw, president of CVCC, shows us around the CVCC Simulated Hospital and find out on Did You Know what is in Catawba County and is the only one of its kind left in the world. Winter weather survival tips, holiday shopping safety, and more coming up next on Catawba Communities.
The Conover Station is one of Catawba County's newest tourist attractions, but it's a lot more than that. It's a great example of an adaptive use of an old building for new purposes. And I'm joined by Lance Height, who's planning director for the city of Conover here at the Conover Station. Thanks for being with me, Lance.
Thank you, Dave.
Tell me first of all about that redaptive use or that refurbishing of this very old train station for new purposes. What all went into that?
Well, quite a bit went into it, Dave. This is a 1918 mill building, and the city's been working on it over the past year. We were fortunate to receive a $2.1 million grant from the Department of Transportation to refurbish this building, and we've put a lot into the planning of this. This building is, as you can imagine, a lot goes into taking a 90-year-old building and making it modernized. We've put all new systems in the building. It is a green building. We capture rainwater and harvest it to flush the toilets. We have an automated system for our HVAC and LED lighting and all the bells and whistles.
Now we are in a large meeting space, it looks to me like you can almost say, where a really nice introductory ribbon cutting type ceremony was held in late October. Tell me about what this room with some really interesting artifacts from the past may be used for and other things that are here in the Conover Station that people can come and see and do.
Well, the building's been open for just over a month now, and this truly is a multi-use, multi-purpose building, and that's what it was intended to be, to serve the citizens. You have several things going on. Our branch library that was located in Conover City Hall is now located in the third floor of this building. And then we have this nice meeting space that's available for all kinds of different uses, as you said, ceremonies, different events and meetings that we would have. It's a little over 3,000 square feet. It will also have the future depot area for the train station when passenger service is going to be available. We also have community meeting space that is located on the first floor of the building, and it will be available for use after the first of the year. Also, in the upcoming year, the Greenway Public Transit Authority will be locating their offices on the second floor, which will bring jobs to our downtown.
Now you mentioned something else that is very interesting, and that is sort of a return to a public rail line. When is that going to be? Who's going to be doing it? What are the details of that?
Well, we worked with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and they've been working on a long-range plan to get rail service back to the western part of the state. This line would run from Salisbury to Asheville, and there would be stops all along the route. We would be the stop for Catawba County. That service will likely be in place within the next 7 to 10 years, should funding come available. Obviously, there are a lot of moving parts to that, and it's a lot bigger than just the city of Conover, so there are federal and state dollars that are at play to make that happen. Essentially, what I tell folks is that we're setting the table for dinner. We're not sure when it's coming, but we do have our depot ready. But for the time being, we have a great public building that is a source of pride and captures our manufacturing heritage and allows us to refurbish an old building and have a great deal of much needed community space brought back to the city.
You also mentioned earlier that the building was a green building. I think people would be surprised that you can make an environmentally sound or quote green building out of something that's over 120 years old. How'd you do that?
It's been very challenging, and I think it really goes back to our architectural team looking at all the things that need to happen. The building itself is very difficult to renovate an old building to make it new, but to be able to make it to a LEED standard or U.S. Green Building Council LEED standard is even more difficult. This building never had air conditioning. This building didn't have a lot of those amenities that it now has, so to make it a 21st century building has been a true challenge.
Lance, we appreciate you joining us today. It sounds to me like one of the trains may be about to come through. We know more trains will be coming here in the future, and also people coming to see this great building in Conover.